Everyone, what is up? Today we're going to go through how to add a login and sign up flow to our application. We did Redux first because one of the main things we're going to use Redux for as our global state is to store a user's username, user ID, and their photo, because we're going to be using it all over the place. You're going to use it when you post a photo, you're going to be using it when you like a photo, when you comment, when you message, when you go to your profile. And everything's going to be attached to that user ID because that's unique to you. So your whole feed is going to be based off of that as well. And so that's something that we clearly want to store globally, and we want to have access to every single component. But first we're going to go through adding the login page, because right now when we go to our application, we reload it, it comes right to the home page. So there's no login, there's nothing to verify that a user is actually logged in. So we're going to add two new screens, a login screen and a sign up screen, and we're going to use another navigator. So React Navigation has a couple different features. We're using the tab navigator, so we're using create bottom tab navigator right now to create this bottom part. And they also have another navigator which allows you to go back and forth at the top of the screen, so that back button that has that transition between pages. And then there's another one called Switch Navigator, which is really meant for authentication. So when you're in the login or the sign up page and you go to the home page, you don't want to be able to go back to that login and sign up page unless you're signing out or you're not logged in. The main page after you log in should be this home page after you go through the authentication flow. So Stack Navigator kind of is the very basic bare bones of the navigation. There's no back, there's no styling, there's no bottom tab, there's just, it's either this route or this route, and that's between this home route if you're logged in, and if not, then the login route. And so the first thing we're going to do is create another file in this navigation folder, and we're going to call it Switch Navigator. I like naming it whatever navigator we're using just to make it clear. And to make this quicker, we're just going to copy and paste this because it's going to be basically the same layout, but with different screens. So let's just remove all these screens for now, and we'll keep the home for reference. So instead of using this create bottom tab navigator, we're going to replace this with create Switch Navigator. And where I'm getting this from is, sorry, lowercase c. Where I'm getting this from is just the documentation in React Navigation. And I've done it already, so I kind of know what it is, but just for your reference. So we do create Switch Navigator, there we go. So yeah, that's the right one. And remember, version 2 versus version 3, we need to do this create app container now. So I would make sure if you're on an older version of Expo or React Native, older version of React Navigation, then you don't need to use this, but for version 3 and on, you do need, and you can find that out by going to your package.json and then React Navigation 3.0 higher. So now we're in the Switch Navigator. We're not going to have any navigation options. It's going to be very, very basic. And now we need to create two new screens called Login and Sign Up. So we also have to do that in our screens folder as well. Save login.js and then sign up.js. And we're just going to copy and paste some of this stuff real quick. So login. It's just so this default code will actually show just the word login so that we know it's working instead of failing because there's no class that we're creating. And sign up. And now we're going to reference them in here. So we're going to log in. Oh, sorry. Actually, in the switch navigator, we're going to have two different routes. We're going to have the authentication route, which is a separate navigator, and then the tab navigator, which is our home navigator. So mix it up just a little bit. We still need these files login and sign up, but instead of importing it in here, we're going to import tab navigator. Which is in the same folder. And this is actually going to be our home route. And then our auth route. So you could actually have a navigator as your screen. And we're going to do auth